Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from the Frontier. Thank you as always for stopping by. We had a day off yesterday. Hope you had a good day too. Sub-Saharan Africa police in DR Congo fired tear gas and live bullets for a second day on Wednesday to disperse supporters of opposition presidential candidate Martin Fayulu, killing at least one person, local activists said. On the way from the airport to the place where Fayulu was going to address the crowd, the police began to throw tear gas, hot water, and another blue liquid at the population. Congolese Association for Access to Justice said 2 people were killed in the violence, 43 people were injured. Opposition coalition Lamuka, which is backing Fayulu, said the police crackdown showed clearly that President Kabila and his team realize they're going to lose the elections. I think they're going to win because the opposition is fragmented. And I take you back to something I wrote in June 2016. I was quoting Paul Virilio, and I said the revolutionary contingent attains its ideal form not in the place of production but in the street. I was talking about how Katumbi had been leading the street against a third term for Kabila. Kabila constitutionally barred from running for a third term. Katumbi had set out his stall and was looking like a formidable adversary. In fact, the numbers were building. Katumbi must have been thinking that this might just turn into a tsunami. President Kabila, however, outwitted Katumbi by removing him from the street in the Congo entirely. I said this might well prove a cleverly administered technical knockout. Of course, the precursor was the Burkina uprising in Ouagadougou in 2014, which terminated beautiful Blaise Compaoré. And I concluded by saying the street is a tinderbox, and it has become a major area of political contestation across the continent. But I concluded by saying Kabila has proven really adept at keeping the street below the boiling point. South African oil shares down 13.29% this year as the dollar versus rand coming back to the 14 level, last at 14.0748. Egyptian pound 17.915. Nigeria is now feeding the world, the Vice President Osinbajo claimed in Germany. Today we produce locally 10 million metric tons of paddy rice annually. We're importing only 2% of our rice consumption now. Investments in milling capacity has risen astronomically since then, with one investor putting 1 million tons of milling capacity into the market. Carlos Farms, a Mexican fruit and vegetable investor, initially planned to grow bananas and pineapples for export, until he discovered he was making more money selling his bananas locally at $3 a kilogram for what he would have been paid only $1 per kilogram Europe. Interesting. Nigeria, of course, remains gripped by whether its President Muhammad Buhari is a clone. It's the real me, I assure you. On the issue of whether I've been cloned or not, said the ramrod straight former general, it's the real me, I assure you. Several high-profile Nigerians, including a former minister, state governor, and one of the country's most popular evangelical preachers, have in recent weeks claimed Mr. Buhari, nicknamed Johnny Walker for his frequent month-long trips abroad for medical treatment, has died and has been replaced by a lookalike. Social media posts alleging the president is in fact a Sudanese body double called Jubril have been shared and viewed more than 500,000 times. Self-styled genetics experts have published papers asserting the president has been cloned. Rumours that he's been replaced by a Sudanese doppelganger have been supercharged by social media, doctored photos, and Nigeria's highly partisan and underfunded press. In one instance, Mr. Kanu shared 2 images of Mr. Buhari, one reversed, to allege that the president, who is right-handed, was using his left hand, supposedly proof of a body double. Mr. Kanu didn't respond to requests for concrete evidence. Of course, there's a lot more to this in Africa. We've got Gabon's President Ali Bongo Ondimba, who made his first appearance since falling ill nearly 6 weeks ago in a video shared by the presidency from his medical leave in Morocco. Malawi's President Bingu wa Mutharika, who died in 2013, his allies connected his corpse to life support machines and flew it to a South African hospital in a piece of political theatre designed to stop his deputy Joyce Banda from taking power. Then Mugabe was widely reported to have died in 2016 when he was 92, after the presidential plane carrying him made a diversion to Dubai. Mr. Mugabe reappeared in Harare the next week to say, "It's true, I was dead, but I resurrected, as I always do. Once I get back to my country," said, "I'm real." And of course, the story in Nigeria was President Yar'Adua, who I think was comatose and dead when he arrived back in these photographs you're seeing. And they kept him theoretically alive for quite a few weeks. Nigerian all shares down 19.88% year to date. Ghana Stock Exchange is down 2.16% year to date. Glencore begins the changing of the old guard. This is the FT. They are facing attacks on multiple fronts. It's one of those where you don't know whether this is being done to appease the regulators and is being done with their consultation, or if they're just trying it out, hoping to get them off their backs. They're trying to be on the front foot. They're the most reactive company in our sector. When things happen, they react very quickly. This time it is the looming investigations by the DOJ and Canada's Ontario Securities Commission which have rocked the company. In July, Glencore said it had been subpoenaed by the DOJ for the documents concerning the business activities in the DR Congo, Venezuela, and Nigeria going back to 2007. These investigations have weighed on Glencore's share price, which is down 29% this year. Glencore grew out of Mark Rich and Company, whose eponymous founder was regarded as the godfather of modern commodity trading. 2002 was when Glazenberg took the helm, and indeed he's created a lot of value. In that same article in the FT, you've got Kabila's comments on Glencore and Gettler as well. Glencore declined to comment. Barrick Gold Tanzania says it's making progress in a tax row, but no deal yet. Barrick Gold Corporation has made progress in talks with the Tanzanian government to resolve a nearly 2-year-long tax dispute. But it is premature to say a deal has been reached. A person familiar in the matter told Reuters on Wednesday. Government officials met last week with executives from Barrick and Randgold Resources, which Barrick is acquiring, to discuss the issue. The meeting appears to have gone well, nothing in writing. Next week is crucial. Bloomberg reported on Wednesday that Barrick had reached an agreement with the government on a $300 million payment, which Acacia will make in installments because the balance sheet can't support such a payment, with terms under review by a Tanzanian tax working group. It was unclear if the payment resolved outstanding tax issues. It's basically uninvestable at the moment, Tanzania, from a mining extractive perspective. Tanzania signs $3 billion hydro deal in heritage site despite concerns. When we asked for financing for this project, the lenders refused to give us money, but thanks to improved tax collection, we're able to finance this project using our own resources, said Magufuli. Monthly tax revenues increased to an average of 1.3 trillion shillings a month, from 850 billion before he came to power. The area in question is the Selous Game Reserve, 54,000 square kilometers, the largest protected wilderness reserve in Africa, with over 440 bird species. President Kenyatta, I'm honored to have joined thousands of Wananchi at Nyayo National Stadium for celebrations to mark the 55th Jamhuri Day. His dress caught everybody's attention. In today's Star newspaper, Uhuru, you can run, but you can't hide, he said. And Donald Kipkorir earlier today said Kenya has been crushing corruption since 1968. Kenya shilling 102.71, Nairobi all share down 17.71%, NSE 20 down 25.53%, How has the nation media performed over the last 5 years, and what do you expect in 2018? Here is what Abujani has. This is from Prime Securities. Closing price 68, market cap $124.95 million, P/E ratio 9.855. Provision for overdue debts at the halfway mark was $291.6 million. KenGen is in a plan to extract minerals from its geothermal brine. Geothermal hot waters have been used for thousands of years for mineral baths, heat homes, greenhouses, hot water. KenGen said earlier that the brine from its old carrier fields contains about 600 to 800 milligrams of silica per kilogram and 1.5 to 2 milligrams per kilogram of lithium. Finally, Afla Juice billionaire owner announces NSE listing plans. It's a food processor, produces Afia and pick and peel juices. So that's a good sign for the stock exchange. Once again, thank you for stopping by.